Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. And yeah, I feel like it's become a little bit of a habit at this point by me apologising for my absence. But it's been stressful, 100%, and I've got a few bits of news, updates and all that. Pretty much the biggest one is my game development, and I've got nothing to show off properly just yet. I'm still learning, but I've got a couple of small games that I have kind of prototyped and worked together on, and I'm doing my coursework. Obviously most of it's all come from that. Some of it's allowed me to be a little bit creative, and I think it might be nice to do a video on kind of what I've made, even though it's kind of just showing what the end product is from this course I'm doing. But hopefully that'll be interesting for you down the line. Yes, I actually write like this. draw something. Let's just think. What can I draw? That I know exactly what to draw. And it's going to be terrible. So terrible, in fact, I'm going to record it on my iPad so you can see how bad this is going to be. Right. Okay. Here we go. So, it was what? You had something like that, and then it was slanted like that. That's a bit too steep. There you go. So it was like that, like that, like that, like that, and then it went down. I don't know. That, maybe a little bit more. Down, cross there. Because I think I'm having to remember this off the top of my head. Kind of how height-wise. But do this. And then it was like, it was one of those kind of handles there. And from memory it was that. You had a windowsill there. If I remember rightly, we had 1, 2, that could open. We then had a door there. You had my old bedroom there. So you had that and that. I'm really bad at drawing. Then from memory we had that, and then it was that, a bit of that, a path there. I think we had an unattached garage next door, but I can't remember. I definitely know we didn't have like a gate to try and go through around the back, what have you. But this was I don't know what else to call them. No, I can write that better. There you go. And then next doors was kind of just extended, like just, same, like they had some windows, they had like a front door there. If I remember rightly, we had one of these, which, if I do this, there we go. So we had a hedge separating us. What colour is... If I remember rightly, we had some of these. And then I think, but I may be wrong, we kind of had a thing that was sort of like that, and then it was kind of the same kind of deal, just, there you go, just some of that. Then we had, what was it? It was kind of like, a mini, kind of, I don't know how else to draw it. So I am drawing it worse than what people might think is actually reasonable. Can you tell what it is yet? I sure as hell can't. Okay. And then we had, from memory, a little bit along here, which was that. A little bit of, what have you. Then we had this, which this is like the worst drawing anyone has ever done. It really is. But not only is it terrible, there was a second part there. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this bit along here was actually white, I think, but what can I fill in? That is reasonable. That is a reasonable colour. That isn't an over-exaggeration. I'm going to go with brown. Brown is a good colour for not doing brick. So go. And sure, why not? Let's do this side as well. You know, if you can't tell, this is not photorealistic. No. But forget the fact that it isn't photorealistic. It offers an entirely new perspective. It's beautiful. Right. So we go up this side. Which should there we go. And sure, why not? Let's give them some roof colour as well. I can't remember what colour everything else was, but whatever. What colour was the door? I can't remember, but I'll probably put it. Screw it, let's have a pink door. Because I think it was like along there. We had that down, along there, and then go with the same kind of blue along there. And then let's do this kind of colour along the roof of the garage, shall we? Let's do an off colour for the garage door. There we go. Now, this actually is meant to be a very rough drawing of my old house that doesn't look like this anymore. Well, I say that. From memory, we had along there, down there, and this was, I think it was darker than that. Yeah, that kind of colour. We had, so this was meant to be the fence separating us from our neighbours. Okay. And at the same time, So that was our garden. We also had in this garden another one of these weird things that someone may or may not have accidentally killed. But what can you do? You know. So there you go. What else do we have? In this corner, on a bit of a sad note, we buried our hamsters there when they passed away. Over in Dingleberg's lair, they had a pond here full of fish, and back when they'd have us, every time they went on holiday, they'd let us, you know, have a key, waddle in and feed the fish. And this was going back many years now. But like I said, this was my old house that I actually grew up in. And with this old house, I was what, 6? We moved out back in, well, when I was in college actually. No, it wasn't, it was after. I can't remember. It's a fair while. But I do slightly miss this house, because my bedroom was this one, and the moment I could reach the window, it was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless we went on holiday or someone else shut it. But you know, it was open every day of the week, 24 hours a day, and it basically rusted open, and that was quite interesting to try and explain that to our council, why the window wouldn't actually shut. But there you go. What other memories can I briefly mention? My brother went into residential from this place, and my sisters moved out about 6 months between them, and it was a 4-bedroom house, and it just meant that my sisters shared a bedroom, my brother had his own room, I had my own room, and I just remember how in this particular home, how connected I was to it. Like, as a child you kind of learn like all the sounds, and it's kind of something that you stop learning and you stop doing as you grow older, from what I can tell. Like with me doing my job, I do a lot of manual intensive work, and I have to move a lot of stock about, and so the other day I ended up having to say to like my manager, like, oh, this is gonna casually take me like 2.5, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And they're like, that sounds really long for what it is I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, but I'm on my own. So you have to obviously allow for that. And I gave them a breakdown of how long everything takes. And I said to them, per one of these units, it takes me an average of 8 minutes. And so, by that judgment, that's 6 units per hour. If you rounded it up to 10 minutes. But you have to account for, you know, move it over here, move that over to there, you know, 6 to an hour. I suppose that's a good autism trait, I suppose. But there you go. And I am aware there are people who won't get that reference. With my neighbours back when my parents didn't like them, they referred to them as Mr. and Mrs. Mercedes, and it was like, oh, we're going on holiday, or yeah, we're going on holiday, we're going to be driving up there in the Mercedes. I had to, you know, go to the shops in my Mercedes. And according to my parents, I didn't speak to them too much. But according to my parents, they were literally advertising every other sentence that they had a Mercedes. Every other sentence basically was that reminder that they drove a Mercedes. Which, yeah, I kind of hate people who do that. There's no need to kind of brag. Like, it's like someone I know from work kept reminding people that they had the iPhone 12. And with me, I don't think that's on. Like, you could turn around if someone asks, what phone you got? Oh, I've got Samsung Galaxy S9, you know, iPhone X, iPhone 11, iPhone SE. No one should be batting an eyelid, but no one should also be, you know, kind of bragging, yeah, I've got this, I've got that. And so what I did was intentionally wind up this one person. And as some of you may know, like, the new iPhones have come out. And I turned around and said to this person, like, anytime they brought it up, like, got the iPhone 12, which is the new one, and I'm like, not past next week, when the new ones are announced and released, which means you have the old one. Like, I wouldn't do it for any, like, when I got my first contract phone, it was for an iPhone X, and the XR and the XS had been released, and the people I was at work with were basically trying to get me to have buyer's remorse, where they were reminding me, oh, you've got the old one, that's not a good deal, they're overcharging you on that. And I'm like, I don't care, this is my phone. I like my phone. You know, the way I look at it is, if you are content with whatever device you're using, like your phone, your tablet, your laptop, what have you, you don't need another one. You don't need the high-end one to replace it, you know. Like, if you can keep something going for as long as you can, do it. And with my iPhone X, I had it brand new, and it's still in service. I've given it to my mum. My current phone, which I'm using to, you know, record this, literally, I was happy with my old phone, but because I was giving it to my mum, I didn't need it, and that's kind of what spurred me to get this phone. But at no point am I bragging that I am privileged enough to, one, be in work, and two, be able to afford something a bit newer. But money doesn't, well, depends who you ask, money doesn't make the world go round, and 100% I would take my old phone back. But I have to be honest about one thing. Using my phone to do videos on has been the best performance improvement that I've had, considering it can record 4K at 60, it can edit 4K at 60, and render that substantially quicker than what this laptop I've just got in front of me can do. It's quicker than my desktop by a substantial amount, and I'm throwing it out there, regardless of whatever device you're using, if you can complete your tasks, whatever it may be, and succeed in what you're doing, say homework, schoolwork, professional work, if you can use and you're comfortable with that specific device, you are at the top of your game. I don't care what anyone else says. You are at the top of your game. For instance, with my old setup, to edit the videos, it was fine. To record the videos, my old computer down there didn't have the actual power to record from a webcam. And because of that, it made all videos incredibly awkward to record. So I found a bodge job on top of a bodge job, and it would mean every video would basically take up like 30 to 50 gigabytes that I'd then run through a piece of software to get that file size all the way down. Then I'd be able to edit it. enjoyed this video. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day or night, regardless of what it is. And I hope to see you all